So if you found this video, you might have recently been told that you have gum disease and that you need an expensive treatment, or that you could lose a tooth, or that you need this really special expensive treatment right away. These are some of the things you might have heard and that might have driven you to find this video. So let's talk about what gum disease is and what potentially you might be able to do about it. So this problem exists. It's existed for thousands of years. It's not a new problem to mankind. And if you ask a dental professional, there's a good chance they're going to tell you something like, if you ask them how many people have gum disease, they're very likely to tell you 75, 80% of people. 3 out of 4. It's a very common answer. So you might start to think, well, if it's 3 out of 4 people, like, how come no one ever told me about this before? Well, that's a big mystery. This is a big problem hidden in plain sight, and a lot of times, I'm not saying this is true of all dentists, but a, from the many people I've talked to over the years, it looks like there's this uh, a large proportion, or let's just say that there may be some dentists out there. Let's say it that way, who they don't really tell you that you have a gum disease problem. They might even see it years before they tell you, and they might wait until it's time for an expensive treatment before they decide to tell you about your problem. So here's something you can do, and whether you have gum disease now and know it, or whether you don't know it and you're wondering, there is an objective way to figure this out so that you're not relying on somebody's opinion all the time. You can, when you get in to the dental chair, you tell your hygienist, I want you to call out my periodontal pocket depths. I want to hear all of them. And so chances are she'll be happy to do that for you. I mean, that's what their job is, any part of their job anyway. Same if if you happen to have a dentist who's doing the cleaning themselves, the same thing applies. So what do the numbers mean? Well, generally, if you can get and this is a tip you can take with you and use in your dentist office, you're looking to be 3 millimeters or less. Generally speaking, if you're above 3 millimeters on any of your pockets around any of your teeth, your dentist will think that you have a problem, generally speaking. And that would be, gum disease. If you're 3 millimeters or less, essentially, most dentists, generally speaking, would say that you don't have a gum disease problem. So that's your objective way of knowing what's going on. It's really the only weapon you have. Otherwise, you're relying on someone's opinion, waiting for them to tell you what's going on in your mouth. This way, you can grab the reins, see what's going on, and consequently, you may have already figured out that if you do have pockets above 3 millimeters, you need to get them down to 3 millimeters or less, and you would be correct. That's the end goal to help solve this problem. And how you do that, um, I mean, you can take different approaches. Which ones work and how effective they are becomes the issue at that point. And that's something you'll want to find out or figure out. I went through this process and I tried many things to try and solve the problem. I tried different mouthwashes, I tried different toothpastes, I tried oil pulling, I tried essential oils. Uh, all of these things failed me. I would keep going back to the dentist and she would say, no, you still have this problem, you need to get this special treatment, blah, blah, blah. And I just wasn't going to give up because I knew I didn't want this deep cleaning treatment that she was telling me about. Because if you go out and read about it, you'll find that it may not be the best. So what I did, I came across this device called the HydroFloss, and I was able to use that. And um, after using it for several months, I went back and my dentist, there's a picture of it right there, along with my book that I wrote, What You Should Know About Gum Disease. So I went back and my dentist said, well, okay, your gums are, she said, what did she say exactly? She said, whatever you're doing, keep it up, and you don't need that treatment anymore, meaning that the scaling and root planing or deep cleaning treatment she was trying to give me for a very long period of time. So I was able to solve the problem. To her, she seemed satisfied that my gums were healthy again, and that was a great day for me, a victory, in fact, because I found a way to solve this problem that I wasn't going to be able to solve without an expensive treatment. Um, and A big problem with that particular treatment is that typically it has to be done again in 1 to 3 years. So it's not the best, it's not a long-term solution. But with this device here, you can get one of these, and I'll put this article that I'm showing you here on the screen. I will put a link to this article directly under the video. So if you want to visit this page and check out what else I have to say in this article, you can do that. Um, so I was able to solve my problem and save myself a very expensive treatment, and probably it wouldn't have been the only time it would have had to been done. So after that, I wrote this book, What You Should Know About Gum Disease, and I started thinking about this problem rather deeply, and I decided I wanted to do something for people. I was fortunate enough to find this machine, and maybe you will be too. You know, I don't know. I've talked to many, many people over the years, and the vast majority of people I've talked to have told me, or rather, many of them have told me this worked for them. It worked for me. It worked for many of my customers over the years, and I think it's gonna good chance that it'll work for you. But the best part about it is you don't have to take my word for it. I've already told you what the periodontal pocket depth numbers mean, and you take that information to your dentist, and you have your dentist measure your pockets, and you'll know by the numbers whether you've gotten better or not. And that is, an objective measurement, probably the only objective way to know where your gums stand. The subjective way is to rely on somebody's opinion. But when you know those numbers, that puts you in the driver's seat, and you have a little more power uh, over your own dental health. So I hope this video helped you. Leave a comment if you want to. I understand this topic is not the most popular one, but the fact of the matter is 3 out of 4 people have this problem right now. So if you want to learn more about it and this device that I used, follow the link under the video. And thanks for watching.